first meet cute took place in the Rose Garden. Sparks flew, a laugh, a hearty handshake. If a bird twittered, it went unnoticed. An instant connection. With the White House looming behind, they gazed at each other. The man with the golden hair and the one who swore by saffron. It was a beginning. When they met again, they dressed up and suited up again. Later, they exchanged vows. Growing convergence and strategic issues were worded. It was clear the attraction was mutual and the liaison would grow. The third time they met up with friends, but they had their stolen moments. More the merrier, that was the theme for the fourth meet. This time in Osaka, Japan. They cracked each other up while attempting fist bumps before sitting down for a tete-a-tete. August 2019 saw them in France. The rendezvous might not have been in Gay Paris, but it was still heady. Their laughter filled the air, and the front pages of broadsheets from New York to Kolkata. The air was electric when they walked hand in hand. Howdy, darling. Darlings of the crowd. Two happy men of advanced years, not afraid to flaunt their popularity. Bolstered by the will of people, the mating of the largest and the biggest democracies of all times. Promising to reshape global order, flowering in the glow of unabashed publicity blitzkrieg. A bromance like none other.
Hello and welcome to this India Today special. US President Donald Trump is all set to visit India. It will be his maiden visit to the country and the preparations are in full swing. Ahmedabad will put its best foot forward to welcome the US President. What will be on display is US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bonhomie. Well, something the both of them have developed over the last few years and a number of meetings.
Abhi ki bar, Trump Sarkar.
So said Donald Trump, then canvassing for votes to become the President of the United States of America. By then, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was already a global trendsetter. And trying to cash in on Modi's popularity amongst Indian Americans, Trump picked up Modi's election tagline.
Abhi ki bar, Trump Sarkar.
Prime Minister Modi made sure that he was one of the first world leaders to congratulate President Donald Trump. In that, Modi even beat Theresa May of the UK. Narendra Modi was also the first leader to have dinner with Trump at the White House in June 2017, when he visited US for the fifth time. No stone was left unturned by Prime Minister Modi to strike that all-important close rapport with President Trump.
During my campaign, I pledged that if elected, India would have a true friend in the White House. And that is now exactly what you have, a true friend.
क्योंकि यह भारत तथा यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के बीच परस्पर सहयोग तथा सहभागिता की चरम सीमाओं की उपलब्धि पर केंद्रित है, क्योंकि हम दोनों global engines of growth hai.
The special relationship that the two shared became more than evident in the tweets and hugs that followed every time they met. President Trump even tweeted that Prime Minister Modi was his true friend. And when the true friend's daughter landed in India, Narendra Modi was at his charming best as he played host. Ivanka Trump led a 400-strong US business delegation, and a lavish official dinner was thrown for the president's daughter Ivanka at Taj Faluknama Palace. At every chance, Prime Minister Modi has gone the extra mile to ensure the smooth continuation of the all-important US-India friendly ties. Since the time Donald Trump became president, He and Narendra Modi have met 6 times so far. First, it was at the White House, June 2017. Then, the ASEAN Summit, Philippines, November 2017. Third, G20 Summit, Argentina, November 2018. Fourth, G20 Summit, Japan, June 2019. And then, the G7 Summit in France, August 2019. Howdy Modi event, September 2019. The leader of the largest democracy and the leader of the biggest democracy. Narendra Modi and Donald Trump at every photo opportunity have made it amply clear that they understand each other.
It's very good English, we just don't want to talk
The last time Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump met, it was an extravagant affair. Modi was addressing a full house at his rock star style event. Howdy Modi, and Trump accompanied him as they took laps hand in hand.
Jab Modi met Trump in Houston, never before has such striking chemistry been seen between two leaders in public. The jugalbandi between the leaders of the two largest democracies at Houston's NRG Stadium was extraordinary in the realms of highest level diplomacy. It was a mutual admiration club as Modi and Trump heaped praises on each other. The Prime Minister even going ahead and endorsing Trump, who is facing elections in 2020.
We in India have connected well with President Trump. The words of candidate Trump, अब की बार ट्रम्प सरकार, rang loud and clear, and his celebration of Diwali in the White House lit up millions of faces with joy and appreciation. When I met him for the first time, he said to me, India has a true friend in White House.
Visibly moved by his special friend's gesture, Trump did not mince words while calling Modi as his most loyal friend.
Hello, Houston. I am so thrilled to be here in the great state of Texas with one of America's greatest, most devoted, and most loyal friends, Prime Minister Modi of India. Thank you.
After both addressed the Howdy Modi event, the Prime Minister and Trump walked out hand in hand amid cheers from the more than 50,000 crowd in the jam-packed stadium.
When President Obama completed his term and left the White House, experts were skeptical about India and United States relationship. People wondered whether Prime Minister Modi would be able to replicate Obama-like bonhomie with newly appointed President Donald Trump. Comparisons came naturally, but Modi continued his hug diplomacy.
A big focus of Prime Minister Modi's external affairs has certainly to do with the wooing of America.
God bless you. May the force be with you.
President Obama was the guest of honor at India's 66th Republic Day parade. Considered a photo op coup for the Indian Prime Minister. But in terms of expressing the newfound good relations between the two biggest democracies of the world, there is nothing better than some happy pictures. It was all supposed to grow and grow. So when Donald Trump was sworn in as the president in January, 2017, parallels were drawn as both were self-made outsiders in a sense who now controlled the destiny of their nations. But then, the challenges began to emerge. Modi had his Make in India initiative and Trump had an America First policy. So what would happen to trade? Then the US pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement and President Trump justified his decision by saying that the accord was unfair advantage to India and China. Washington's complaints of trade deficit, immigration and visas issued emerged as obstacles to bilateral ties. The carefully nurtured and verily broadcast Modi-POTUS friendship that blossomed during Obama seemed to be in jeopardy. Very soon after Narendra Modi taking over the helm, India had emerged as a strategic partner to the US. Prime Minister Modi had gone the extra mile and flew thousands of miles to cultivate the relationship. Modi visited America 4 times while Obama was in the White House. A significant achievement for someone who had been denied a US visa till he became Prime Minister. But it had been Modi's first visit to the US that had set the tone for how important a force Modi considered Indo-US relations to be.
Bharat Mata ki.
Modi's address to the Indian diaspora at the Madison Square was hailed as historic. But on later visits, it was to be business that dominated the Prime Minister's usual agenda. Over the years, PM Modi has been pitching Make in India to American investors and businessmen. The Indian PM dined with Fortune 500 CEOs in 2015. A Silicon Valley tour with American tycoons and entrepreneurs followed. The cooperation on trade, intelligence and military education and defense were agreed upon. The personal equation and hug diplomacy set new precedents in the country's foreign policy. India forged its position as a strategic partner to the US. The pro-America tilt in India's foreign policy was seen as an achievement, as India under Modi seemed to draw away from its traditional ally in Moscow. Modi's final visit under Obama presidency in June 2016 grabbed headlines as PM Modi addressed the US Congress. It burnished the Prime Minister's stance as the trusted US partner. The visit was seen as a farewell for President Obama.
Today, our relationship has overcome the hesitations of history.
So when Donald Trump assumed office, Modi had to begin all over again. And with Trump himself being a political maverick, the personal equation bid could have gone either way. Prime Minister Modi made sure that he was one of the first world leaders to speak to President Donald Trump after his inauguration. He beat Theresa May of the UK, a close US ally. Prime Minister Modi was also the first leader to have dinner with Trump at the White House when he visited the US for the 5th time in June 2017. No stone was left unturned by Prime Minister Modi to strike that all-important close rapport with President Trump.
I have always had a deep admiration for your country and for its people, and a profound appreciation for your rich culture, heritage, and traditions.
The effort to establish a special relationship was evident in the tweets and in the hugs. Both the leaders are considered champions at Twitter diplomacy, and they did not disappoint. President Trump referred to Prime Minister Modi as his true friend in a tweet. Differences over issues like immigration and climate change have been swept under the rug. Trump's tough talk on Pakistan's cross-border terrorism is what India wanted to hear for a long time. When the US first daughter landed in India, Modi was at his charming best as he played host. Ivanka Trump, after all, led a 400-strong US business delegation. At every chance, PM Modi has gone the extra mile to ensure the smooth continuation of the all-important US-India friendly tie.
India and United States have been strategic partners for a long time. But since the swearing in of President Trump, the trade ties between India and United States have seen their fair share of ups and downs.
America imposed 25% tariff on steel and a 10% import duty on aluminium products. India decided to retaliate by significantly hiking customs duties. The trade ties between the two nations took a hit, but then the US reaffirmed its support to India's membership bid to the nuclear suppliers group and said it had called on the other members as well to back New Delhi's application. In August 2018, India became the first South Asian country to get the Strategic Trade Authorization 1 or STA1 status from the US. This status paved the way for high-technology US product sales to India, particularly in civil space and defense sectors. India became the 37th country to be designated STA1 by the United States. President Trump lit diyas in celebration of Diwali at the White House in November 2018. He was flanked by prominent Indian Americans, Indian origin administration and diplomatic officials.
Our nation is blessed to be home to millions of hardworking citizens of Indian and Southeast Asian heritage who enrich our country in countless ways. Together we are one proud American family. So on behalf of the American people, I wish everyone celebrating here, all over our country, our land, great United States and around the world, a happy and joyful Diwali.
Prime Minister Modi met President Trump at the G20 summit, and their bonhomie was evident for everyone to see. In February 2019, right after the Pulwama attack, when India once again raised the call to declare Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar a global terrorist, the US was the first to back India along with UK and France. Finally, in May 2019, the United Nations designated Masood a global terrorist. But the trade ties between India and the US still remain strained. In May 2019, President Trump slammed India for imposing 100% tariffs on American products, including the iconic Harley-Davidson motorcycles. A month later, India was to go a step further when it levied retaliatory duties on 28 US products after Washington revoked New Delhi's preferential trade privileges. But this didn't overshadow the bromance that President Trump seemed to share with Prime Minister Modi. When Narendra Modi came back to power with a thumping majority in May 2019, the President of the United States of America took to Twitter to congratulate him on his success. When India abrogated Article 370, Pakistan went to the US and the world. President Trump went through a series of flip-flop statements on Kashmir, till finally he clarified matters at the G7 summit in France.
Well, we spoke last night about Kashmir, and the Prime Minister really feels he has it under control. I know they speak with Pakistan, and I'm sure that they will be able to do something that will be very good. We spoke about it last night at Gurugram.
भारत और पाकिस्तान के सारे इश्यूज बायलैटरल हैं और इसलिए हम दुनिया के किसी भी देश को इनके लिए कष्ट नहीं देते हैं. हम मिलजुल करके हमारी समस्याओं पर चर्चा भी कर सकते हैं.
And with this, the governments of Modi and Trump claim they remain natural partners against the forces of destabilization.
That's all that we have in this edition of In-Depth. News and updates continue.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.